on. I was in the middle of speaking, sir. It would have been
Yes,
really
you were.
awkward.
Oh,
Yes,
look,
you were.
we're recording.
Yes.
It's the
Yes.
final
Beach
countdown.
boy. All right, I'm like. That was the sound of Zayd dying. Hi, I'm Llytic.
Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm a caffeinated doggo.
You're a corpse. And this is What Are We Reading? We
Hopefully
are
today-
finally finishing Atlanta Nights. It has
Praise
been
the
a
Lord
long-
and pass the ammunition.
It has been a long trip of Tom not understanding how literature works and Zane saying something offensive. But we are finally at the home stretch.
I was going to say me whining like a little bitch, but like...
Well,
Boy,
yeah,
what
that ties
next
into the
day
whole...
will I say today?
Will you insult someone's sexuality, or their gender, or their race? Find out next time. Today, now.
Yeah, we're not ending it on that. Ugh. Let's get this started so we can be done.
All right. Chapter 39. A gray crepuscular... God damn it.
Crepletoid.
No, that's not what I said. Crepuscular light seeped stripily, not stripily, whoops,
Oh my.
down onto Bruce's face. He blinked and yawned. What's happening? He murmured, rolling over to hug his pillow. His hug pillow, his Dakimakura.
Ooh.
His pillow. What had happened to his pillow? It was no
Why
longer...
is it covered in anime girls?
It was no longer his hypoallergenic polyester fiber-filled king-sized favorite. This was a half-size foam rubber hockey puck.
Why is there a hockey puck on my bed? You just hear like the ice rink behind him.
Half size. What?
He fell
That's
asleep
what's
at-
confusing me.
Reflexively, Bruce sat up and was suddenly abruptly felled halfway up like an oak tree by a sharp blow to the forehead. He lay back, stunned and rubbing the rapidly swelling red lump above his left eyebrow. The ceiling had dropped. It was now 30 inches above his face, a concrete ceiling crossed by steel girders. It was a steel girder he had hit his head on.
You don't say.
From directly below him, a deep voice growled, "Shut up, prison bride, or I'll smack you till you do, huh?"
The fuck was that voice?
You said shut up, so I had to.
Shut up.
Shut up.
From slightly below, Bruce had a good ear. An even deeper voice snarled, "Lay off the fucking noise, you fucking motherfuckers! It's 5 fucking a.m.
He said louder than all of the others to exert his dominance.
Obviously, he was also T-posing.
T-posing on his bed. You can't see it, but I'm T-posing down here, bitches.
I'm T-posing. You bitches know who's the dominant one around here.
Oh boy.
Bruce lay very still, trembling. What happened? Who are these people in his bedroom? Rolling only his eyes around the room, he took in his surroundings. His comfortable bedroom had changed horribly. Barred window through which a tiny slice of gelid dawn sky peeped. Concrete block walls, concrete floor, concrete ceiling, painted shiny gray and adorned with graffiti in many colors. Without comprehension, his eye took in the scrawl on the ceiling above his bed. In an indelible blue magic marker, the gnomic curlicue resolved into the inscription.
Was it? Could it be? Had everything been a dream? I don't feel very fortunate, Bruce complained as his friend helped him from the low-slung rear car. I heard all over and I don't remember a thing. I left that bar over on Martha Avenue. I wouldn't be surprised if the police didn't want to talk to me about what happened. Not that I could help them because I don't remember anything, he added as an afterthought. This only happened on Dallas, Bruce told himself, whimpering silently in the back of his throat.
He's in prison. What was this place? He lay on a metal bunk with a thin mattress almost 9 feet above the floor, a bunk from which ominous creaks and shaking began to emerge, like Moby Dick rising from the ocean depths. A clean-shaven, dead white dick slowly ascended above the horizon of his bunk. "You fucker!" His voice intoned, scowling. "I was asleep. I was dreaming about little Maddie. I was warming her baby bottle in the microwave. And you fucker, you fucking woke me up!"
He's woke!
Oh, God. He's gonna complain about the frogs being gay.
Vegeta. We're in prison, Vegeta.
I wasn't even trying to go Nappa on that one. Whoops.
Well, I went Nappa on that one, so I don't know. That's just the first thing that it reminded me of.
And this is Vegeta. He was a prison bitch.
One look into those crazy green eyes, and Bruce knew he was in the presence of a maniac, a genuine deluxe homicidal maniac, little Maddie or no. A hand the size and color of an albino catcher's mitt rose into view and moved inexorably towards his throat. Bruce shrank back in the narrow bunk, clutching his thin, scratchy brown blanket and pressing himself hopelessly against the cold, unforgiving concrete block at his back. Conversation. That was the ticket. Cordial conversation on topics of mutual interest. Is this jail? He quavered. Oh my God.
I'm imagining it being like the "is this a pigeon" meme. Like the dude has him by the throat and Bruce just puts one hand up. Is this jail?
Is this jail?
Also, I'm kind of disappointed that no one commented on me replacing the word skull with dick.
I was wanting the audience to be following along with this manuscript and figuring out that you did that on your own.
Oh boy, some interactivity.
Yes.
Dude. Oh wait, is it my turn?
Yep.
Wow, you read that pretty fast.
Yep.
Is this jail?
is this God damn it, Bodhi! Suddenly a pair of large flat feet, black as shoe polish.
No.
You skipped.
No.
You skipped a bit.
Fucking hell! Is it? Where am I then? It's
fucking death row, motherfucker.
It's fucking death row, motherfucker! The great white whale snarled. And you know what that means? It means I fucking wasted. Sorry, I'm a smoker. It means I fucking waste you, and there ain't nothing they could do to me no more. I'm like a desperate man if you take my meaning. His ham-like hand clamped inexorably around the neck of Bruce's pajama top. Bruce was dragged headfirst out of the bunk and dropped like a dead fish onto the floor. Luckily, he was still clutching his foam rubber pillow, which broke the impact a little. Right in front of his nose, the great white's pallid bare feet screened with corns and wrinkles from two tight athletic shoes seemed to be the size of canoes.
God damn it, Bodine!
Wait. I thought all these guys in this were supposed to be tough-ass shit bodybuilders.
Yes, but we're also an 18-year-old thrown into death row, apparently.
Where's all that strength now?
Nowhere. God damn it, Bodine! Suddenly a pair of large, flat feet, black as shoe polish, slapped down onto the floor. The occupant of the middle bunk had entered the fray. Can't we go one single goddamn day without a scrap, huh?
There was a solid, meaty sound. The sound of solid dark meat hitting white bovine muscle.
What? How do you know the difference in sound for that? Now this sounded specifically like a black man hitting a white guy.
I don't know, but I kind of feel racist right now. I mean, more so than you.
That sounds like something you hear from Fox News.
Maybe. Bruce curled up small, hoping not to be stepped on. Fuck it. You think just because you got into 20 fucking counts of serial rape and murder that you such fucking hot stuff?
Jesus!
I don't think they put those kind of people with the kind of people Bruce is.
We don't know what Bruce is. Why is he on death row?
He's in jail.
They keep telling on us black folks we got oversized sex drive. So what's a man gonna do, huh?
I
ain't even gonna say it on mistake. The story knows. Stories like here. You want something offensive? Right here.
You see what I mean about saying I feel more racist than usual?
The huge black man glared down at Bruce. Death row's gonna be hell, just like the goddamn United Nations. Look at this little yellow shit here. It's all this affirmative action to blame.
What? What?
I thought we were in Georgia. Why does this guy care about the United Nations?
I'm just confused on whether or not this little yellow shit was supposed to be that he was calling Bruce a coward or Asian.
From the context, probably Asian in this one, but like,
With the Jesus.
Well, with the whole blaming the United Nations things, now that's starting to sound like Fox News.
Oh, God. I don't know. The boy was holding a box of Skittles. I think he was a threat. Show you an oversized drive, fucker! From his vantage point on the floor, Bruce could see the homemade shiv Bodine the whale was flashing, pulling from his waistband.
Damn, I was hoping you just drove a car through the jail at him.
Oh, God.
I'll show you an oversized drive, fucker. Here's my truck, bitch!
Deja vu. I just been to this place before. Higher on the street.
Beep, beep, motherfucker. I thought it was funny. Suddenly, there came a clang of metal on metal from outside the cell. Chow call, folks, chow call. The wardens were coming. Bruce sat up. Keys clanked and doors opened, one by one, nearer and nearer. Bodine's shiv vanished like magic into the top of his sock.
However, the blood flowing from his foot did not.
You fool, you don't swallow the knives.
Oh, God.
The warden didn't even... No, that's too far. The barred door of the cell slid back with a resounding clang, and the black man and Bodine shuffled sullenly out. Bruce scrambled to his feet. Hey man, this is all a dreadful mistake. I'm, innocent.
Big quotation marks. The warden didn't even look at him. Save it for your lawyer, pal.
I didn't kill Callie.
What?
Apparently this is a thing now.
Callie's dead?
Apparently.
God.
Oh, sure, pal. And I'm the former First Lady of Barbara Bush. Get a move on, will ya?
Please, I shouldn't be here.
Bodine shot a look of contemptuous pity back over his shoulder at Bruce. And little Maddie, that wasn't my fault. It was that fucking two-time and arrogant woman, her mother, the razor blade. All her idea.
Sure, Bruce said, his teeth chattering. Oh, that was Bruce, not the officer. Sure! He tottered rapidly along the line, single file, down several open rinser steel staircases, and then down a long, bare concrete corridor to the cafeteria. This was a cavernous, windowless basement space lit harshly by the pitiless glare of fluorescent lights, and its windows shielded by heavy grates. A haze of cigarette smoke hung bluely near the ceiling. Sorry, the smoke's getting in my lungs. The trays were pressboard, the utensils were plastic, and the plates were styrofoam. He held out his tray, and the server in a hairnet plopped down a spoonful of something colorless swimming in greasy ichor. It was either grits or scrambled eggs. Oh,
just like Gok's dad used to make them.
The coffee in styrofoam cups was tepid and so weak he could see the bottom of the cup. He added sugar in the coffee creamer to see if that would help.
It didn't. It just made it look like someone splooged in there. Was it better to sit with his cellmates?
No,
I'm gonna go to the table with the people I know. Or to find another table and hope he wasn't joined by a child murderer or a serial rapist. Better the devils you know than the devils you don't, he decided.
This dude's about to get fucking shivved.
God. Oh, God. But not too close and not too far. He chose a place at the furthest end of the huge black man's table. At least he seemed to be unarmed. His cognomen seemed to be Pericles. Pericles. And he was joined by a number of compatriots who lit cigarettes and rapidly scarfed down the food. Bruce could only pick at his own plate. I have to get out of here, he told himself. I have to talk to my lawyer. We have to fight this all the way to the Supreme Court.
Suddenly, Bodine sauntered up to their table. First, I'm gonna gut you like a fucking trout, he announced. Then I'm gonna pound the little snot's head in for dessert.
Pericles.
Okay, yeah. Pericles seemed unimpressed. You bore me, man.
Bodine picked up Bruce's nearly untouched plate and threw it like a frisbee. Gray goop flew everywhere, but there was enough stuck on it that when the plate hit Pericles, it glopped down his t-shirt front. Without visible effort, Pericles picked up his chair and slung it at Bodine.
WrestleMania, everyone.
He's got the steel chair!
Brings a whole new meaning to cage match, you know?
Oh, God.
My line, right?
Yeah.
All around them, the other inmates stood up and yelled for blood. Plates, cups, chairs, and food flew through the air. It was a right old ballroom blitz.
Ballroom blitz.
Bruce prudently abandoned his seat and crept under the table.
No.
I mean, it's a valid strategy, honestly.
Oh,
Oh, God, this was my fault. Good song.
Chapter 40. Zane.
Why is the chapter where the people actually lose for once already over?
I don't know. That was the best chapter so far, despite all the racial slurs.
Yeah.
There wasn't actually a single racial slur in there.
Or-
Just a lot of heavily implied stuff.
Just like some thinly veiled racism among characters.
I don't know, I guess you're right. I feel less bad about reading that out loud now.
You didn't have to read the part where... Oh boy, never mind.
Anyway.
Irene checked her face in the mirror and the gun in her handbag just once more before she found the reserve she was looking for in herself. Popping in a fresh Fuck. Popping in a fresh breath mint.
Down the
just
wrong
in
tube.
case, she pushed open the boardroom door to confront the three people who had ruined her life and killed her love.
Her father, Isaac Stevens, turned quickly, sloshing the whiskey, a wonderful single malt, from his glass. Damn it, girl! I taught you to knock when entering a room. All good women know that. Jesus.
Yes, Father, I do know to knock. But then I didn't have the bad manners to plot to kill my best friend and my business partner then, did I?
The two other people in the room took a sudden greater interest in this new conversation.
Wait, someone's dead? Wow, I gotta tell the folks at the water cooler about this. Penelope and Rory stood too close for a casual chat, and the lipstick smears on Rory's face seemed to give rise to the evidence that these two had been quietly occupied as Isaac got celebratory drunk.
Well, the little missy's gone and got herself into a bit of a fit now, ain't she? Snipped Rory as he slipped his arm around Penelope's slim waist. What you trying to say, gal?
I think it's kind of obvious. He killed someone.
Mm-hmm.
Irene suddenly realized that her plan to scare her father into confessing the attempted murder of Bruce and the accidental death of her love might have one or two flaws into it. She didn't realize that all three had been plotting this coup for now. She would just be one more pretty little speed bump on the road to riches. As this kernel of truth popped open, Irene reached into her purse and grabbed the gun, but strong feelings of misgivings began to overwhelm her. Could she shoot her father, the man who had raised
Yeah, why not?
her mother's untimely demise? Fuck it. Yeah, whatever. Bye.
Yeah, do it.
She could do it. She pulled out the gun.
Killed everyone in the room. The end.
That did not work for the joke. Needed
What?
something harder that wasn't going to scuff up the dresser. Anyway. Rory dropped his hold of the luscious Penelope's waist and lunged for Irene, sure that he, the big strong man that he was, could stop this tiny girl from going or doing anything. His eyes gleamed evilly. Well, that's not good. Until suddenly they took on a look of surprise. The hand that had so recently been folding Penelope's bosom was now clutched his own, bleeding midsection as he dropped to his knees on the overly expensive Persian rug. Oh man, you had to shoot him on the Persian rug.
Yeah, they can buy more. They're rich.
Oh man, but those are really nice rugs. She she shot me. That damn bitch daughter of your own shot me. That exclamation, he pitched face forward with an oof.
Irene,
I only wish that it had been louder.
That's as loud as my phone could do it. Sorry.
that was like perfect.
Like I was trying to do that like sound on my own, but I couldn't. And I'm so glad that happened.
That was like perfect. Like,
Oh boy.
Irene nudged his head with her perfectly pedicure right foot. He didn't seem to notice, so she figured he was dead. You just shot him. He probably is dead. Well,
I don't know. It was only in the chest.
Yeah, true. Well, midsections of his stomach, so he could probably pull through from that.
Humans could get through with that, right?
Yeah, usually. It just hurts a whole lot. But anyway. Good. One less problem to worry me, she thought. I think I have a new favorite character.
The one who kills everyone. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is like the best thing that's happened in this book so far.
What in the hell? So you think you are? What in the hell? So you think you are doing? Shouted Isaac.
What do you think?
Fear causing his voice to waver a bit. Now you've gone way beyond any manners that they taught you at the fancy boarding school I sent you to. You just do not shoot people. That's not proper. What the fuck? How distant from reality you have to be about this situation?
Get stabbed in chest. Rude.
Well, that was rude.
Oh, God. So, thought Irene, this is what real power feels like.
I
like it. And with that, she raised the gun and pointed at the remaining two. She waved the gun casually between the two like a lazy band conductor in 2/2 time.
Now, Father, tell me again how Mother died in that car. You know, the one in which your brother was not really there. And how sorry you were that Henry, your oldest and dearest friend, father of your grandchildren-to-be, died in that same little accident. And how that left you temporarily in charge of Bruce's company. Oh, and Penelope, how many beds did it take to line this up? Did you enjoy my dad? What is it with you and these old rich bastardy?
Old rich bastardy.
Actually, you're much more fun, sweetie. Guys just can't measure up.
Oh, God.
Remember the trips to the Bahamas and that beach? Penelope slowly moved forward with each word, distancing herself from Isaac. We sure rocked that word. I'll never forget how you said we should never come back to Atlanta and how we could live there forever on your trust fund. Penelope reached a hand out to Irene and tried to reach out to stroke her cheek.
Forget the Bahamas, bitch. Irene slapped Penelope's hand away. You left me there to rot, and next I knew I was paying bail and bribes for some stolen jewelry. And damn it, I didn't even enjoy any of it. You were shit in bed. Irene spit the words into Penelope's face as the gun spit 3 rounds into her gut.
Bang, bang, bang! New kitchen gun!
Ah, fuck. I just flashed back to the music version of that.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh, oh, God. Anyway, how does it feel to die a piece at a time, 1 bullet for each day I spent in jail for you? This is all you'll get from me. Yeah, say this as like fear-filled as you can, Tom.
Okay, Rini, baby, sweetheart, now don't shoot your daddy. We can come to an understanding, can't we? Isaac sniveled as he dropped to his knees in front of his daughter.
Don't call me that. You ain't got no rights to use Mama's Mama's name far me. Irene's accent tore through as her tears began to fall. Daddy, I don't want to kill you, but if you don't die, then I know y'all just find a way to get rid of me and the babies.
No, honey. Give me a chance, and we can fix this all up in no time. We'll keep to the plan and take the company. That'll feel that feel brute. That Phil Bruce will never figure out it was us until we're off living the good life in Europe with his money. How's that with you? I control all the company and most of the shares, so you can have it all and be gone in a week. So please don't shoot me. Isaac crawled towards his daughter, pleading for his life and thinking that he could get away when the other two fools couldn't.
Fuck off, father. Die like a man, not the crawling worm I've come to know. Bang, bang! Two shots tore through the carpet. Thought the carpet. Isaac cowered down, hands over his head, and began to shake.
Irene smiled. Well, Daddy, guess this is goodbye. Kiss, kiss, hugs. Ta-ta! Bang! One more shot rang out, and Isaac's very expensive toupee took a wild leap from his now bald and bleeding head. Oh!
I think the payoff was slightly worth it.
Bitchin'. Irene sat back to take in her handiwork. I don't know why, but I'm just imagining it like in the first Halloween movie where like Michael Myers would just like tilt his head slightly looking at the body he just killed.
Like, huh, did I do that?
Or more like, nice.
I
really think that this one just really encompassed my mood. Like a really good version of that is the kill where he pins a guy to the door with a knife. And like he just looks up at the body and tilts his head.
This was the very first Halloween, right?
Yes.
I need to watch that. I've seen the opening scene from it, but I haven't watched it all the way through.
Yeah, that and the original Black Christmas kind of created the slasher genre. The Black Christmas actually came out I think a couple years before Halloween.
That'll be interesting. I think they're making another remake of Halloween, by the way.
Why?
I don't know, honestly.
Nothing after the third movie is worth watching, and the third movie is only worth watching because it was part of the creator's original vision. That was to have it to where it was an anthology series of like horror-type movies taking place around Halloween. Halloween 2 only happened because the studio demanded it. I'm not kidding.
No,
that's part of why Michael Myers died at the end of that movie. Like, that was supposed to be his final, like, appearance. No more Michael after that.
And then we have 7 more movies like we do with all good horror movies that they decide, oh, we're going to keep making movies and milking this cow.
Yeah. 3 very dead bodies lay around the room, each with a different expression on what was left of their respective faces.
Metal. Irene noticed a smudge of blood on the tip of her toe and bent down to wipe it off. She used the hanky from Rory's breast pocket as he no longer needed it.
Oh god, she just looted a body for a handkerchief.
I mean,
nice.
You haven't done that?
I mean, I've looted bodies for various things. I've never done it for a handkerchief before.
Bruce rolled into the room. Great work, my love. I'll have my people clean this up, and we need never bother with this again. Now go get cleaned up. We have a meeting in the board of directors, and I need my new senior VP ready to shine.
Oh god. Walks into the meeting covered in blood. See you at 10, babe. Gotta get those tickets ready for Barcelona.
Sure do, and then 3 weeks on the French Riviera, then pop home and get the nursery ready for our boys.
Isn't life great when you got all the money and no scruples? And they laughed as they left their gory scene to the cleanup crew.
We're rich.
And we murdered someone! Yay!
Chapter 41, Inside Richard Isaacs.
Oh my.
We are now inside his large intestine, moving towards the colon.
Ugh. Outside, below, so far, Atlanta. Teeming urban sprawl, Boeings and Learjets circling like buzzards to the corporate stink of carrion, cruising hot thermal of greed. Old jets never die, they just go into a holiday pattern over Atlanta.
Holding! Not holiday!
Wow! Huh.
That's a new one.
That is a new one. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, into a holding pattern over Atlanta. Can it be that it's life itself that's the holding pattern?
Pretty much.
Somewhere out there, down there, misted by steamy fog of his heated breath on the cool air-conditioned glass, Margaret Eastman's curve filled a tight-dress spandex city with her silicone bounty. Shouldn't that be enough to live for? Shouldn't it? Shouldn't it?
Not if he couldn't have her.
Inside the ghostly reflection of the office window, the shadow of a man, Richard Isaacs, superimposed on the crawling city, a giant over an anthill.
A giant ready to lay down on that anthill and pour honey on itself and let it eat him alive.
Like it had it already tried.
How far he'd grown from little Richie Isaacs, the kid everyone loved to pick on, the kid who stole a bag of apples for the teacher from the tree in the Johnson's yard, the kid who nobody ever knew put the rocks in Mr. Miller's garden hose, or the Kool-Aid in the principal's gas tank, or the prank calls to random names in the phone book to ask if the bowels were there or did they move. Oh, he was a tricky little devil. Nobody ever put one over on little Richie Isaacs. How did it all come to this? Was it the abuse of the priest at the First Baptist Church with the red silk costume tied around his neck announcing his corrupt virtue for no one to see? Was it Pop taking the belt to him between belts from quart bottles of Rheingold? Rheingold. Was it Uncle Jeb turning into the driveway to pulverize his beloved Lionel trains under the cruel wheels of the old John Deere? Was it Ma on the creaky porch in her frumpy house dress and pink slippers and curlers sipping mint juleps like there was no cure in all the world? Oh, Mama, he thought sadly, I'm so sorry I never went to your funeral. How did it ever come to this for Mrs. Isaac's best baby boy?
The well-built man surveyed his office environs in the reverie that was so uncharacteristic for him. The designer furniture that looked like they had carved it from the iceberg that sank the Titanic. The abstract impressionist original on the wall that he always thought looked like Ed What's-His-Name from the movie version. The bank of TV. The bank of TV screens showing MSNBC, the financial feeds, the antique globe that he liked to spin and trail his finger over it to get a tactical sensation of the mountains and valleys rising and falling like the graph of today's dough.
His fingers, looking at his hand, the backs of which were beginning to show age spots like rust. Rust which forms not on peach trees, not on living growing things that soak up decaying putrid soil and drank lemony sunlight and gave back the breath of life, but rather rust which forms on iron, things of cold and metal hardness. Richard's fingers were perversively aware of the power they held. To manipulate, to mold, to force with their iron-cold metal hardness the objects of their will in the direction they willed them. A few taps of these fingertips on the right keys on the right board at the right moment. Lives were ruined. Buy low, sell high. Everything has a price. Richard Isaacs was higher than he knew, holding the metaphor in his palms, all the blood drained from his sanguine face.
His hands could kill.
Him.
His hands could kill him.
Ye gods, what terrible power.
Should he do it? He wondered. It wasn't like the motivation wasn't non-existent. Despair was kudzu, choking, creeping, ravenous kudzu. Nothing to do but napalm it. You had your bull markets of the soul and bear markets, crashes and depressions, and he wasn't talking about the kind of crash Bruce wasn't lost in his shorts in. Sometimes one had no choice but to realize the loss. Sometimes the guy had to take the comic tax deduction in the sky. You didn't always get the option or a choice or another alternative.
I do find it funny how we're not even commentating on this chapter.
I mean, this is fun, so...
itself is just, oh my gosh.
This could be it.
The big correction.
All the upteen shrinking stories.
It was not to be. Damned sealed glass, damned climate control, damned transparent prison. Or maybe a phone cord around the neck, he reflected. However, there was nowhere to hang from in this sterile, plastic, state-of-the-art, environmentally corrected, eco-friendly cage. Goddamn Eurotrash designers claimed they thought of everything. But they couldn't think of this. Now, did they? Space didn't have every modern anonymity. Couldn't gas yourself in a General Electric microwave. Didn't suppose he could buzz down the lobby and request a halfway decent sprinkler head to hang his sorry gullet on. But you couldn't rig something through a cord. Twist a ruler through it. Couldn't you But couldn't you rig something through the cord? Twist a ruler through it. Couldn't you tighten it yourself, turning and torquing and winding tighter and tighter? Muscles straining in his merciless shoulders, cranking the bulwark closed on a sinking ship. Would he have the balls to go through with it, wringing the breath from his own gasping throat? Would he plead for his life? Would he say, "Dick, for God's sake, don't do this. You have so much to live for. Don't be a fool. Don't throw your life away"? With those hands, his iron hands, his terrible, aging, rust-corroded, sin-tainted hands take their own Dr. Stranglavalian personality. Could nothing he say deter them from their inexorable will?
He wrestled his Stygian urges down with Herculean aplomb.
Got a hold of himself.
Control.
Control he could do.
All right. No Dopplerlink doctum plummet to eat a terminal snack of pigeon-flavored pavement after the dead cat bounce. No jolt of autocratic asphyxiation wrenched the apex data ruler the way he wrenched himself in the wee of the night when he lay prostrate on his back and no one could hear him ejaculate Margaret's name into the Sealy Citra mattress drenched with the carnal effluence of desire. Jesus Christ. No tragic, grandiose flinging of the Bell South fiber optic wiring over the rafter beams since there wasn't one. Positioning the Semperflitic ergonomic office chair, looping the Jimi Hendrix original handmade collectible silk necktie neck, kicking its spinning chair across the anti-static mat, cleated like Beckham's soccer shoes on the migraine milk-in carpet, kicking the climate-controlled air with his direction-adjustable hieroglyphic lovers, kicking in generic afterlife. There was always Valium.
That was a lot of words.
Mm-hmm.
There
was a lot of words there.
Stumbling to the kidney-shaped, translucent sea iceberg green designer desk, the bottles came into his iron hands like magnets snapping onto iron. Valium, Zoloft, Prevacid, Lescal, Seconal, Zantac, Paxil, Ultram. Doers. Before he knew it, the stock ticker of his life would be passing before his eyes. Then sweet oblivion. Glorious nothingness. No more torturous silicone visions, no more danger-sharp curves ahead. No more Bruce Lucet and his infernal reeking testosterone making a man want to be things no decent man ought to want to be, and do things no decent man ought to want to do. No more onus of law enforcement's fetid hot breath under his collar. No more rattling. No more backstabbing. No more megalomaniac Machiavellian machinations. No more Margaret. No more Black Fridays. No more blow-off tops. No more crack spreads. No more drunkard walks. No more high ticking. No more leaps. No more margin calls. No more market timing, no more mental stop loss, no more momentum indicators, no more multiple linear regressions, no more opportunity costs, no more outside reversal months, no more pessimistic rates of return, no more pivot points, no more probability density functions, no more quarterly net profit margins, no more relative return standard deviations, no more resistance slides, no more shaved candlesticks, no more spikes, no more splines. No more whiplashes, no more whipsaws, no more upswings, no more downswings, no more, 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 no more.
No.
No, he did not give up that easily.
He was a commodity traded on his own futures exchange. He would die before he sold himself that short. He was almost jigged out there, almost whacked, almost melted on his own account. But Richard Isaacs was not done yet. Richard Isaacs did not go down that easy. Richard Isaacs was a market maker. Richard Isaacs was printing on the O.
He slung the handful of pills in an overhand arc toward the direction of the designer wastebasket, watching them soar through the luminous light of Ptolemy's world-classic omnidirectional task light, heard them scatter like shotgun shot into the lacquered executive wastebasket with the little bar graphs decorated on it, the pinnacle of all his superficial aspirations, the symbol for his nearly untimely fall.
Richard Isaacs returned to the window again. Dick Isaacs looked through his reflection. No one looked back. No one ever did.
Outside the cruel, uncaring metropolis, the juggernaut he would bring to its knees.
Inside Richard Isaacs.
The end.
My God!
I will say, that is probably one of the more interesting chapters.
That's why I wasn't saying anything. Yeah, it was mostly nonsense, but it was fun to read, honestly.
It's not often that something lets me do a madness mantra.
Oh man, Madness is some of the most fun to like role
Act.
play in like D&D and just everything. It's so fun.
No more. No more. No more. No
And
more.
that was one of the better written chapters the way it was, honestly. Like, I mean,
Sure, it still gave Zan a stroke, but
Yeah, it did.
I don't know.
Roommate, though. He was kind of just sitting there listening to me, and they're so.
oh, your roommate's there this time?
He was for a bit. He just left, but like for a while, there was just like, that's a lot of words.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh boy,
That's a lot of damage.
that's
the
a
power
lot of
flex wheel,
damage.
we cut this story in half.
So did like that last chapter feel like an actual end chapter? It's like the beginning.
I mean, it was an attempted suicide, which...
I mean, that could have been an end or a beginning for anything. Like,
And that makes it more
at
beautiful.
the very least, we know that... Wait, okay. Okay, looking at this chapter, at the very least, I'm pretty sure... Oh, God, because I'm trying to remember which one Richard Isaacs was, because I don't think he's one of the people who died previous chapter.
no, he was one of the ones who actually it might have been Richard Isaacs who was Callie's dad who was killed. I don't remember, but like
Well,
I'm trying to think. I think he was the guy who was like coming in like after Henry Archer died and was like trying to be a little bit of a mentor like figure to Bruce Lucent, and like aside from everyone being a terrible character, he actually had probably the most sympathetic character stance there. But like, let's see.
Well, I mean, everyone's intentionally terrible, so...
Well, yes, but
fuck, like, that actually kind of ended up weirdly interesting.
yeah, that's it.
Dadbot's still offline, Zane.
Ooh. I need Dadbot's support for our time of loss.
Nope. Isaac Stevens was Callie's dad. Never mind. He wasn't one of the ones
Irene
who died.
Stevens was...
Yeah.
God damn it. I hate the fact that it assigns it to you. Yeah, but it's weird that chapter was the one... Oh, no, it's a Mega Man picture, too.
All right. So, any final thoughts about this?
None that mind. Wait, if you direct it at yourself, it does it to Nekobot?
You just hugged Nekobot. Is that really a
But
bad
I
thing?
directed the hug at myself. Or is it that Nekobot hugs whoever it's directed at?
Nope, says you hug Nekobot.
Just a sec. You have to send the hug to someone. Yeah, if you direct the hug towards yourself. If you direct your hug towards yourself, it says that you hug Nekobot. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think the people watching really care about us.
I don't think they do either. All they hear is us talking about some anime catbot.
End it then. End it.